Hey everyone, I am Kirby Christine, and I want to take this time to create another video, and I'm creating a Hey Mama series. So basically, I'm going to be creating videos that have to do with motherhood from a child's perspective and a mother's perspective. The reason why I'm doing this is because I noticed when I created the first video for Hey Mama, I noticed there was a lot of depression. I'm a millennial, I'm an elder millennial, and I noticed that a lot of millennials have issues with their mothers. And I wanted to explore that. I wanted to talk about this. So, the name of this video is Hey Mama, Potential Reasons Why Your Children Chose to Go No Contact. Now, when I say chose, meaning past tense, I'm specifically speaking to mothers who raise their children and they're noticing they're not as close to their children as they would like to be. And this idea came to me maybe about a week ago. Shortly after I did the Hey Mama series for the check-in for mothers on Mother's Day. I'm noticing a lot of mothers who have adult children would like to have a closer relationship. And maybe you might want to know why your daughters specifically, may not check in with you or talk to you as much. So these are potential reasons. I'm not saying that all of these reasons are the reason, but it's just like I said, the subtitle is potential reasons, possible reasons why. And you may not be in the position right now, or your relationship might be too fragile to actually have a conversation. Maybe the pain is too fresh, and maybe you're not able to, talk it out without a professional, a mental health professional. Keep in mind, I am not a mental health specialist. I do not have a mental health background of any kind. I'm just sharing from my experience and experiences of others, and just the pressure of being a millennial and growing up around Gen X mostly, and hearing some of the conversations around me of people who don't really have the best relationships with their mothers. Okay. So we're going to start. Again, the title is Hey Mama, Potential Reasons Why Your Children Chose, past tense, to go no contact. I'd like to start with the scripture, which starts off with Colossians chapter 3, verse 21. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Now, the beginning, as I stated earlier in my introduction, prior to the video actually starting, I did say in the slide that this scripture was directed towards fathers, but this can also apply to mothers as well. Okay? So I'm going to go over some reasons. Reason number one, and this might have to do with single mothers and divorcees. Poverty. Your children resent you because you brought them up while you were in survival mode. When your children go to school, or when your children did go to school, I could also use this for mothers who are still raising their children, but they're in the middle of the teenage years and they're starting to talk back and stuff like that. So I can use it in present tense and past tense, even though the title is past tense. Poverty. Wearing secondhand clothes from Goodwill and Salvation Army. They notice, goodness, I hate to make this a racial thing. but I have to speak as a Black American. A lot of my fellow Black American sisters feel like their counterparts who are European American, Asian American, they have more support. So their future was set up. They were put in a better position when it came to education, when it came to growing up. And a lot of children, especially firstborns, a lot of firstborns feel like this too. You leaned on them a lot financially the way you would lean on a husband, right? So there's that. There's also the like I said before, the clothes, shoes, maybe they couldn't get the prom dress they wanted. There's certain highlights in during teenage years. It requires money. You know, they want to get the new sneakers. They don't want to go to Kmart and Walmart. They want to go to Foot Locker. They want to go to Champs or whatever stores are out nowadays. I don't really know what the kids are wearing nowadays, but when I was coming up, Foot Locker was the place to go for sneakers. And Payless was cool sometimes depending on what type of shoe you were getting, but for sneakers you would get made fun of and just made fun of in school and bullied and stuff like that. So even though in your mind you're thinking I'm doing the best I can, from a child's perspective, and when that child grows up, they can resent you because they didn't really have the clothes they wanted, they didn't have the toys they wanted, they didn't have the things they wanted, and they kind of resent you for it. I know it sounds petty or stupid to you, but a lot of millennials feel that way. Kind of like the do you have McDonald's money type of thing. That's a big deal with elder millennials. Like that's a really huge deal. And maybe later Gen X, like Xennials with an X. Reason 2, it's possible you were overly critical. You don't respect your children's feelings or opinions. So when your children grow up and they start to explore other things outside of what you taught them, and they come back and they're excited, they might come home from school and they might share an opinion, or they might share a new way of looking at something, and you just shut it down like it's stupid. Like what you taught them, it's law. They're not allowed to have opinions. They're not allowed to think. They're not allowed to, just embrace the possibility that there's another way of thinking about certain topics. And the thing is, you're not always right. You may have been right at the time, but because this is a new generation, we're in a new time period, your refusal to respect your children's feelings and opinions, that's going to follow them. If you're going through this currently, if you have young children or teenage children, it's going to affect them later, and they may not want to talk to you. And if you're experiencing it now, you might want to sit down and think about how you spoke to your children. How did you shut down their feelings? Did you tell them what they were saying was wrong, and maybe it really wasn't wrong? Reason number 3, bullying. You bullied your children without thinking about the fact that they're going to grow up one day. So when you're getting in your kids' faces, when you're doing all of this and this and that, some of the disciplinary actions you take is so unnecessary. I'm going there. Yes. Some of the disciplinary actions, you were taking out your anger about your economic situation. You were taking it out on your kids. You got in their faces, you bullied them. And then you would say things like, oh, I dare you to da 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 da. And then it's worse when you do it in front of another adult. So you discourage them. Or they might sigh under their breath, or they might roll their eyes, whatever. But usually when kids do that, it's usually because you're doing something they might think wasn't necessary or whatever. Again, it depends on the situation. But some mothers, I'm not saying you as the viewer, but some mothers are just bullies. Straight up. It's like they have this I wish you would attitude thing going on. So when the children grew up, when your adult children became adults, they said, I'm not dealing with her anymore. I don't have to deal with her. I have a job. I got a degree. I got my own kids, or they might have not kids. They may not have kids at all. I got my own thing. I don't have to deal with her. Da, da, da. So then the holidays come, your birthday comes. Nobody wants to deal with a woman who's doing all of this, because if you did this in your youth, you're going to do it at an older age, and it's going to be worse, because then you're going to look at it like, I raised you. I did that. The bullying. Reason number 4, vicariousness. You live vicariously through your children. So let's say if your daughter wanted to be, I don't know, a different, maybe it's like a different career. Like maybe she might want to be a cosmetologist, and you're trying to make her be a nurse, right? You know she's creative, and then you say things like, well, that's not a really good career, and da 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 da, and you're trying to make her be a nurse. You're trying to force something, and you might have done it because maybe you didn't have the opportunity to become a nurse yourself, and you're trying to, push your idea onto her, but she's more of a creative. She wants to be a cosmetologist, or she might want to be, something else, and you're pushing your dream onto her, and sometimes to appease you, she'll go ahead and do it, but she hates the career. And a lot of times you guys don't care how your kids feel. Or it could be dating. You'll try to pick a man or a mate for your daughter, and because he fits your standard, she might not even be attracted to him. But then you'll say stuff like, well, that's a good man. That's a good man. You better stick with him. It doesn't matter how unattractive he is. All you see is what you see in him as a man, but you're not even thinking about how your daughter feels. That's another thing. Or it could be fashion. Like, she might want a certain outfit. You don't like it. Or you'll say something like, oh, well, that's cute, but this is better. No, you should wear this. This is better. So it's like you're inserting yourself on what you would do, what you would wear. And you're kind of living vicariously through her. You're not, again, it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. You're not respecting what she wants. Okay, that was reason number 4. That was vicariousness. Reason number 5, maternal rivalry. Now this one is really serious because, let me just read this. You might envy the relationship your daughter or child or children have with another mother figure. So you might envy the relationship your daughter or son, but I'm going to kind of focus on daughter, has with another woman who's old enough to be her mother, right? You could be jealous of an auntie. It could be your sister who might, kind of take your daughter under the wing or whatever. Or it could be a mom that works at your daughter's job. It could be your friend's, her friend's mother, or, things like that. It could be a mother-in-law. Whatever the case is, you could envy that relationship. And you're saying to yourself, why is she spending so much time with so-and-so? It's because there's something about that other mother figure, and I hate to say this, but she might not be getting it from you. The fact that the fact that some mothers are so critical, like so overly critical, there needs to be a time to be kind. Respect her opinion, and that other mother figure might respect her opinion, her views, because you like green. She likes pink. Well, since when do you like pink? Oh, so you like pink, and then you start, oh, well, you don't like pink because such and such's mom likes pink. And, stuff like that, like different. It's just, and if your daughter has changes, she might go through different changes on what she likes. Well, you used to like sloppy joes. You don't like sloppy joes anymore, but she might want a, I don't know, some type of new lo mein she got from the lo mein store. We don't eat that. And no, it's going to be sloppy joes today. And it's going to be hamburger helper today or whatever. You know what I mean? You have this, it's going to be this today and da 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 da. And then it's like there's a rivalry, and then and then depending on how you conduct yourself around the other mother figure, there's a lot to unpack here. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I might have to do a part 2 to this particular video because there's a lot to unpack here, and I am so interested in hearing what you would like to say in the comments. That would be really, really great. That's the maternal rivalry. That could be a stepmother, anything like that. Anybody that has a motherly figure position along with you, right? Or mother. Yeah. Reason 6. You speak negatively about the children's father or the child's father, or fathers if you have more than one father to your children. He ain't this. Let me tell you, he doesn't help me with anything. I'm so tired. It's just too much, and I just don't know. You're going through the whole, it's either tears or you're crying or you're on the phone talking to your homegirl. Yeah, girl, let me tell you, Marquise, honey, when I tell you he don't help me with nothing. Like every time I turn around, I tell him he needs to pick up so-and-so, and he won't even do that. He's always with that new girl all the time. So you're sitting up there and you think your kids aren't hearing this. So when they grow up to be adults, even though what you're saying is true, your children only see your complaining about it, if this applies to you. I'm not saying all these things, all these subtopics apply to you. I'm just saying whatever it is you think you might have done or you think you might have said, just kind of sit on that. You're not wrong for feeling how you feel, but at the same time, you have to think about how your children are going to respond, right? So, the conversations you have with others about the child or children's father. Reason number 7, the gossiping. You gossip about other people's business, and sometimes you act surprised when the person you're talking about or the person you gossiped about, how they react. So let's say if you're at church and you gossiped about, girl, did you see how short her dress was, or this and that, and the woman you're talking about finds out, and your kids are hearing this, and that woman finds out, or found out what you said, and I didn't appreciate how you talked about my skirt and how short it was and this and that. So when your kids see that you gossip about other people, you slander other people, and you do it in front of them, and then when the kid tries to say something, stay out of grown folks' business. How many times did you talk about grown folks' business in front of your kids and then you told them to stay out of grown folks' business? Or you might go ahead and play. Yeah. You dismiss them. And normally when you do that, it's because you're gossiping about somebody else. People remember. They remember what you say. Kids can remember what you say. Definitely it is the case, because how many skits are we seeing on social media of Black women in particular, what's the word I'm looking for? They imitate. They imitate, Black women and how they gossip and how they do this and how they do that. And a lot of the gossiping is very hurtful. Instead of saying, you know, what can we do to help this person? What can we do to do it? It doesn't come with a solution. It's like, why are you bringing it up? When you bring up something and it doesn't have a solution, it turns to gossip, and your kids remember that. Okay. Reason number 8, I call it false charity. So you help your child or children so you can control them and their decisions. So let's say if you have an adult child that has a financial situation, or they need help with food, maybe they don't have enough money to buy food because all their bills are tied up, you know, with the money they have coming in. Maybe they're just starting out. Maybe they have like an entry-level job. Maybe they just graduated from college. Maybe they're still in college and they're trying to get there, and you're helping them, but it comes with strings attached. Like it comes with something. You're not just doing it out of the goodness of your heart. It comes with something. Well, you know, I need you to da 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 da. It's like, instead of just being direct and just asking for help yourself, you use the help to you know, make that child or the children you have, you know, feel obligated to help you because you helped them. It's underhanded. So that's why I call it false charity, like false help, you know. Reason 9, and it kind of goes along with reason 7, the gossip. I call this breach of trust. You share your child's private information to seek attention, sympathy, or maintain control. So you will tell your child or your children's business to other people who don't need to know. I'm gonna let you sit with that. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you are an adult child and if you have experienced this, please leave this in the like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments in the comment section about this, because I am noticing how a lot of mothers complain about, oh, my daughter doesn't talk to me, my daughter doesn't, or my son doesn't talk to me, or, you know, whatever. And you tell their most private business stuff that they told you in strictest confidence, and you just go and not you, maybe I should change my wording, but mothers will tell other people their children's business. If you've done that, think about it. But I'm gonna, you know, I'm just saying. A lot of mothers put themselves in positions where their children, they don't trust them anymore because you tell their business. Do you know how painful that is? Like, I'm going to say it like this. You know, or mothers know, I should say, how sensitive some information is. And if information is shared to outsiders, whether they're your friends or whoever or whatever, do you know how devastating that can be to your child or children if you told their business, his or her business? You know, do you know how hurtful that is? And a lot of mothers feel like, well, I'm their mom, I'm gonna do what I want. Here's the thing. When mothers have that I'm gonna do what I want attitude, not you. Mothers have to take whatever consequences come with it. These children, and those of you who still have children, they're not going to be 12 forever. They're not going to be 17 forever. You have to be careful what you say. And mothers have to be careful what they say. You know, like, I'm just saying, like, the title is you know, chose to go no contact. This is if it applies to you. Please do not take it like I'm coming at you. I'm just I'm just saying, that is a big one. That's a big one. The other one, reason 10, guilt trips. Mothers remind their children of everything they've done for them as if it's a favor for the children. So when I hear mothers say things like, after everything I've done for you, I did this for you, I did that for you, let me tell you what I did, because such and such's mom didn't do that. I bought you this, I got you this. Let me tell you what I did for you. Let me tell you what I did, and and I'm gonna tell you something else. And you should give me this because I gave you this. So the guilt trip, whatever it is, a lot of mothers try to attain from their children, they'll use guilt trips. If this applies to you, before you respond, sit and think back. Did I ever guilt trip my daughter into doing something she didn't want to do? And I used what I did for her 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever to get something done. Really think about it before you answer. I did everything for them. Guilt trip. Reason 11, the emergency trap. You use your child or children's, not you, but mothers, I should say. Some mothers use their child or children's children for financial gain and state that the finances they're asking for is for emergencies, when it really has to do with poor stewardship. So I've seen mothers with gambling problems constantly try to hit their children up for money. I've seen mothers spend bill money on hair, clothes, shoes. They'll use their kids' money for trips because they can't afford it themselves. So, and some of these moms don't have husbands, so they'll use their children to, I guess, fill that void, that financial void. And it's not always, financial, but I mean, this particular reason had to do with finances, but just to kind of group everything in. A lot of mothers stress their children out because they don't have partners. Specifically in my community as a Black American, I'm seeing a lot of single mothers trying to build families with men who don't want to be fathers, right? So years go by, your children grow up, and even though a lot of mothers are proud of their kids, there's a lot of manipulation, a lot of codependency, to the point where a lot of daughters, they just don't want to deal with their moms. I heard a video the other day. This is what I'm getting ready to say is more for sons. But, sons having to buy their mom, a house. Sons having to buy their mom a car. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing that, but if he's able to, if he wants to, if he's like, here, mom, here's this house, because it's from his heart and that's really what he wants to do. But when it's like a he has to do it because the mom is in a bad situation and there was a lot of decisions made and it was like poor stewardship. Again, every situation is isolated, but sometimes some mothers are not good stewards when it comes to finances, and they expect their kids to pick up the slack And they do it so much that children don't want to bother with them. So when I heard someone say, oh, well, if you don't have kids, talking to childless women, oh, if you don't have any kids, what are you going to do? Who's going to take care of you? If you really think about it, there's a lot of women who are in nursing homes right now and their kids won't visit them because it's possible because she exhausted them in their younger years and they are trying to live their lives. Now, I need a minute myself. I do, because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I can't tell you how many times I've heard daughters say, I can't stand my mother. I can't stand my mother. She does this, she does that. She gets on my nerves. She always wants something. She just gets on my nerves. Da, da, da. Some mothers raise their children according to their own standard. So if you're a mom who will sit there and say, I gave everything for you when I was younger, I didn't have this, and I didn't have this opportunity, and I didn't have this, I didn't have the money to buy this, and I gave it to you. But just because you didn't get it at 17 or 20 or whatever, and you were able to give it to your daughter or son, doesn't mean that's what they want. So you're putting what you lost or what you didn't have, you're putting it into them, and some of them might really appreciate it, but they might want something else from you. Maybe they want more hugs from you. You're buying them things, you're throwing them things that maybe they need you to be more compassionate. Maybe they need you to be more, listen a little bit more. And that's why a lot of millennial moms do this. They will buy their kids all the toys, all the McDonald's money, all the everything. But what's missing is there's a lot of daughters, they didn't get enough hugs. They didn't get enough kisses. They didn't get enough, I'm proud of you. It's just like, oh yeah, girl, you're going to look fierce. You're living through them. Your daughter's not you. There's similarities, but they're not you. I don't know what's gonna happen with this video, y'all. I really don't. I don't know what's gonna happen. But my camera kind of shifted over because of I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Don't get mad at me, please. Do not. Just before you get upset, just think about it. That's all I'm asking. Just think about it. That's it. That's all I want you to do. I want you to think about it because, maybe the reason or reasons. Again, if you're a daughter and you're going through any of the things I mentioned, or if there's something I forgot to mention, put it in the comments below. Oh, here's another one. And I didn't even write this down. Some mothers put their boyfriends or their new husbands, I'm going to say boyfriends, before their kids. So it's like they try to shoo their kids away, or they try to live a life of a childless woman. They get annoyed with their kids. If a guy's on the phone and he's like, yeah, babe, I'm on my way to come see you. Oh, for real, Darrell? Like, for real? Yeah, and the baby crying, mommy. The little baby's trying to, show you his new booger he picked out of his nose, and you're irritated, and you're like, I'm trying to talk to your Uncle Darrell right now. Go sit down. And the baby's discouraged, or maybe your little Brittany or little Keisha's trying to show you her little coloring book and how she she called out the lines, but she's trying to show her thing to, and you're getting irritated. It's like, oh, that's cute. Oh, yeah, but let me tell you. Or, yeah, so yeah, Doug, I'm all ready for tonight. And you're trying to you're shooing them away. You know what I mean? That's another thing. And kids remember that, hence the trying to find mother energy in other moms, that work mom, that aunt, your mother, possibly a grandmother. You got to think about that. Did you lose patience with your children? Did you yell at them too much? I didn't have any help. Okay, you didn't have any help. Do you pray over your kids? Did you pray over your kids? Do you pray over your kids present if you still have children that are young? Did you, past tense, if you have adult children, did you pray over them? Did you ask God to remove rebellion from them? Did you ask God to give you patience, to give you the words on how to speak effectively to your kids so that you can be a good parent? Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of y'all do not want to hear this, but this is the truth, and I'm just going to tell the truth. When someone decides to become a parent, it's not just your soul that's going to be judged. You're going to be judged by how you raised your children. We spend so much time talking about honor your mother and father for your days will be long. Yeah, that's in the 10 Commandments. Oh yeah, that's the 10 Commandments. But when you try to manipulate that scripture, not you, but you know what I'm trying to say, when a parent tries to manipulate that scripture to make it fit them, that's a problem, because God is going to judge a lot of these parents for how they treated their kids. And not only that, what was your relationship like, or what is your relationship with God like while being a parent? That's part of the reason why a lot of parents are so angry and frustrated, because they don't want God to be head of their lives. Therefore, they don't want God to be head of their children's lives. So the kids become rebellious. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff. I take my kids to church in the children's church. No. What is the relationship when you get home in the middle of making biscuits? Are you sitting down talking to God? Or did you, past tense, when your children were younger, if you're a mother with adult children, did you spend time with God? You can't be a parent. You can't be a successful parent without Christ. You can't do it. It's I'm telling you, when you dedicate your children to God, there is an added protection. There is a Psalms 91. There is a Psalms 23 that covers your kids when they are dedicated from the time they're babies. I'm so serious right now. I'm not even joking. There is this protection. There's angels walking around when so-and-so's daughter got shot, or such and such a son was taken from this world early, and your son and daughter made it through on the same street to get home. That Psalm 23, that Psalm 91 is something. So many unalivings have occurred, all because there was no protection. You cannot be a parent. You cannot be a mom without the Lord. You just can't do it. And this might be the reason. I think that's the biggest reason for a lot of people. What are you talking about? My kids are saved. I'm saved. What is the relationship? Are you up in the midnight hour? Did you get up to pray? Did you pray at work? Did you pray on the way to work? Do you have an actual conversation of like, okay, Jesus, Jeremy's getting on my nerves. I notice he's doing bad in school. Da da da. Give me the words to say. Da da da. I'm getting ready to discipline Jeremy. What do I say to him? How do you want me to handle this? Do you fast? Did you fast? Do you pray? These are real questions. Present and past tense. For present moms, if you have kids, past tense if your kids are older. I have to keep saying that because I just want to make sure it's clear. Please look over some of the subtopics I mentioned in this video to try to bring clarity. Maybe it'll help you. And this is the last one. I didn't even write this one down. Reason 12 had to do with boyfriends. Okay, so let me just write this down. Boyfriends, right? So boyfriends before kids. Reason 13, right? Reason 13, no prayer life. We're going to call it no prayer life. That's what we're going to call it. Okay? It's important. So I hope this video helps. Again, if there's anything I missed, if you're a daughter experiencing this or you did experience this, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos coming up. So I will see you soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.